What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you are all staying safe and playing guitar, having a lot of fun. Today we are going to be talking about the Martin D-18, which I believe may be one of the most important guitars ever made. And that's no exaggeration. The Dreadnought and the D-18 specifically, actually, changed the course of music history. Now, technically, the very first Dreadnoughts made by Martin were for the Oliver Ditson Company beginning in 1916, and it wasn't until 1931 that Martin released the D-18, and it was an instant sensation. In 1934, Martin made changes to the design, such as removing the slotted headstock and making it a 14-fret guitar instead of a 12-fret, but musicians had been yearning for an acoustic guitar that was louder, that could cut through the mix better, that could project more, and the D-18 delivered all of that and more. During the Great Depression, Martin made a number of changes to the D-18 in order to keep production costs down and allow the guitar to be more accessible to more people, but a D-18, as it is traditionally known, features a Sitka spruce top, mahogany back and sides, a mahogany neck, and an ebony bridge and fingerboard. The design is perfect, timeless, and simple. In fact, some would say that it's too simple, to the point that this could easily be mistaken for an inexpensive guitar that I just ordered on Amazon. Whereas with something like my Southern Jumbo here, it has all these fancy inlays and binding everywhere, and it looks like a much more expensive instrument. And those appointments aren't necessarily things that I care about all that much, but if I were to, say, have these guitars just sitting on the couch in my living room and I had company over, I think that it wouldn't be unreasonable to assume somebody could pick this up and start playing it, not thinking that it was a very expensive guitar, and they may not treat it with very much care. Whereas something like this just looks more expensive. Now, I'll be honest and I'll say they feel about the same quality-wise. These are both great acoustic guitars. And I'll also add that if I was handling someone else's guitar or someone else's anything really, I would treat it with the utmost care, but unfortunately not everyone is that way, so that's why I mentioned this. This looks like any other old Dreadnought, and that's kind of the point. This was the first, or the first as we know it at least, and those other guitars, the inexpensive Dreadnoughts, they're basing their design, at least in some part, to a D-18. Now, all of that being said, Martin absolutely makes some very, very, very expensive looking guitars, and not only do they look expensive, but they are expensive. Very expensive. But a D-18 will always be my recommendation if you're an electric guitar player and you only want to own one acoustic, or you only want to purchase one really nice acoustic. The sound is so balanced, it's exactly what I want an acoustic to sound like. It's what I expect an acoustic to sound like. This woody, earthy tone that's pleasing to hear regardless of whether you're strumming or fingerpicking. When I think about an acoustic guitar, this is what I think about. I think about a D-18. It's so simple yet so perfect. It's everything that you need and nothing that you don't, and that's exactly what I said in my Telecaster video, and I feel the same way about the D-18. This is just the acoustic side of that coin. There's nothing crazy or fancy going on here. They're just simple Dreadnoughts that are built very well and sound incredible. The Martin D-18 is one of the most beloved and desirable guitars ever manufactured. If you're watching this and you haven't played one, I would recommend that you get down to your local guitar shop as soon as possible and get one in your hands. I can almost guarantee that you're going to fall in love with it.